The Luger P08 is one of the most iconic pistols ever carried into battle and remains a lasting symbol of German military power during World War II. Originally adopted in 1908, the P08 was already a legendary sidearm when the war began. Chambered in 9x 19mm parabellum, the pistol played a major role in standardizing one of the most important handgun cartridges in modern history. The Luger's most distinctive feature was its toggle lock action, a design that gave the pistol exceptional accuracy and balance. However, this same precision made it expensive and difficult to mass produce. The weapon also struggled in muddy or dusty environments, which were common on the Eastern Front and in North Africa. Because of these limitations, the Luger was primarily issued to officers, senior NCOs, and specialist troops, rather than standard infantry. Early war Lugers featured excellent machining and deep-blued finishes, while later examples showed rougher construction due to material shortages and bombing of German factories. Although the Walther P38 gradually replaced it, the Luger remained in service until Germany's surrender in 1945. Captured Lugers were highly prized by Allied soldiers, and today the 08 pesos remains one of the most recognizable firearms in history. The Walther P38 was Germany's answer to the shortcomings of the Luger P08. Officially adopted in 1938, it became the standard German service pistol during World War II. Designed with mass production in mind, the 38 pesos featured a simpler locking system and introduced the double-action trigger to military handguns. Chambered in 9mm, the P38 was cheaper, safer, and more reliable than the Luger. Its design allowed soldiers to carry it with a round chambered safely, a major improvement for combat readiness. The pistol was widely issued to officers, tank crews, pilots, and support personnel across all branches of the Wehrmacht. As the war dragged on, the 38 pesos construction became increasingly simplified, reflecting Germany's desperate industrial situation. Despite this, it remained an effective and dependable sidearm. The Walther P38 influenced many post-war pistols and marked a turning point in modern handgun design. The Mauser C96, often called the broom handle, was already outdated by World War II standards, yet it still appeared in German service. Designed in the late 19th century, the C96 had a distinctive fixed magazine mounted in front of the trigger and a unique grip shape, although it was not a standard issue World War II pistol. Many C96s remained in use with police units, rear-line troops, and individual officers. Some versions could be fitted with a wooden holster stock, allowing more controlled fire. The C96's presence in World War II reflects Germany's reliance on older weapons as the conflict expanded. While no longer cutting edge, it remained a powerful symbol of early automatic firearm innovation. The Karabiner 98K was the backbone of the German infantry throughout World War II. Based on Mauser's legendary bolt-action system, the 98K fired the powerful 7.9 2x57mm cartridge, giving German soldiers excellent range and stopping power. German doctrine emphasized marksmanship, and the 98K reflected this philosophy. While slower than semi-automatic rifles used by Allied forces, it was extremely accurate and reliable in all environments. From frozen Russian winters to desert heat, millions were produced, and the rifle served as the primary infantry weapon for most German soldiers. The Karabiner 98K remains one of the most influential bolt-action rifles ever made. The Gewehr 41 was Germany's first serious attempt at a semi-automatic infantry rifle. Due to strict military requirements, it lacked a conventional gas port and instead used a complicated gas trap system. This design proved unreliable and heavy, especially in harsh battlefield conditions. Soldiers often complained about its poor balance and maintenance issues. Although innovative in concept, the G41 failed in combat and was quickly replaced. Its importance lies not in success, but in the lessons it taught German engineers. The Gewehr 43 was the improved successor to the failed G41, Using a simpler gas-operated system inspired by captured Soviet rifles, it proved lighter and more reliable. Often issued to marksmen and snipers, the G43 could be fitted with optics. Though never produced in enough numbers to fully replace the Karabiner 98K, it represented a major step toward modern infantry weapons. The MP-38 marked a major shift in German infantry weapon design and represented one of the earliest examples of a truly modern submachine gun. Introduced in the late 1930s, the MP-38 was developed for Germany's rapidly expanding mechanized forces, including tank crews, paratroopers, and assault troops who required compact automatic firepower. Unlike earlier submachine guns that relied heavily on wood and complex machining, the MP-38 made extensive use of metal components and featured a folding metal stock. This allowed soldiers to carry the weapon easily inside armored vehicles or during airborne operations. Chambered in 9x19mm parabellum, it offered controllable automatic fire at close range where rapid engagements were common. The MP-38 proved highly effective during the early stages of World War II, particularly during the invasions of Poland and France. Its smooth recoil and solid construction earned it a good reputation among German troops. However, the weapon was expensive and time-consuming to manufacture due to its high-quality materials and machining. As the war expanded and Germany required weapons in far greater numbers, the MP-38's production costs became a liability. This directly led to the development of a simplified successor, the MP-40. Although gradually phased out, the MP-38 remained in frontline use during the early war years and laid the foundation for later submachine gun designs. The MP-40 became one of the most recognizable German weapons of World War II and is often mistakenly associated with every German soldier. In reality, it was primarily issued to officers, NCOs, paratroopers, and specialized assault units rather than standard infantry. Developed as a simplified version of the MP-38, the MP-40 used stamped steel parts and a more streamlined manufacturing process. This made it faster and cheaper to produce, a critical advantage as Germany transitioned into total war. Like its predecessor, it fired the 9mm parabellum cartridge and featured a folding stock for compactness. The MP-40 excelled in close-quarters combat, especially in urban fighting, trench warfare, and inside vehicles. Its relatively low rate of fire improved controllability, allowing soldiers to fire short, accurate bursts. However, its straight magazine design was prone to feeding issues if mishandled, a weakness noted by frontline troops. Despite its limitations, the MP-40 became a symbol of German assault tactics. Allied forces frequently used captured MP-40s due to their effectiveness and shared ammunition with other Allied submachine guns. The MP-40's influence extended well beyond World War II, shaping post-war submachine gun designs across the world. The MP-28 was an older submachine gun design that remained in service with German forces at the outbreak of World War II. Developed during the interwar period, it represented Germany's early experience with automatic infantry weapons following World War I. Featuring a traditional wooden stock and a side-mounted magazine, the MP-28 reflected an era before mass mechanized warfare. While it lacked the modern features of later submachine guns, it was reliable and accurate in close-range engagements. During World War II, the MP-28 was primarily issued to police units, Waffen-SS formations, occupation forces, and rear-line troops. As newer weapons like the MP-40 became available, the MP-28 was gradually pushed out of frontline service. Although outdated by World War II standards, the MP-28 played an important transitional role in German weapons development. It helped bridge the gap between early submachine guns and the more advanced designs that followed. The 42 Guinean francs was one of the most ambitious and innovative infantry weapons developed during World War II. Designed specifically for Germany's elite Fallschirmjäger paratroopers, the 42 Guinean francs was intended to provide airborne troops with a single weapon capable of fulfilling multiple combat roles. At the time, German paratroopers faced a critical disadvantage. They often landed separately from their heavier weapons. The 42 Guinean francs was designed to bridge this gap by combining the firepower of a rifle, the automatic capability of a machine gun, and the portability required for airborne operations. The weapon featured advanced design elements well ahead of its time, including select fire capability and the option to mount optics. However, these innovations came at a cost. The 42 Guinean francs was complex, expensive, and difficult to manufacture in large numbers. As a result, production remained limited, and only elite units ever received the weapon. Despite this, the FG-42 heavily influenced post-war firearms development, particularly in the design of modern battle rifles and light support weapons.